Once upon a time, there was a man named Chuck Black who felt God calling him to write books. He eventually wrote a whole series about the kingdom of Arrethtrae that took the truths, stories, and characters of the Bible and retold them in a world of knights, castles, and fair maidens. These 6 books covered the entire Bible from Genesis to Revelation. Next came another 6-book series called The Knights of Arrethtrae. Unlike the Kingdom series, the Knight books were not allegories of actual biblical events. Instead, they dealt with issues in our world today. In each book, the Knights of the Prince, or Christians, discover a plot by the Shadow Warriors, or demons, to deceive, enslave, or destroy the people of Arrethtrae. The Knights of the Prince lack the skill and strength to defeat these warriors, but they have the power and authority of the Prince, Jesus, to back them up. One of the best books Chuck Black has written is the 3rd in his Knights of Arrethtrae series, Sir Dalton and the Shadow Heart. It follows the journey of a young knight who finds himself unprepared to defend himself and his belief in the prince. Questions placed in his mind by a shadow warrior fill him with doubt and fear, until finally he is captured by the mighty Lord Drox and thrown into an underground prison with many other knights. But this prison has no doors. There are no guards at the entrance. The prisoners can escape at any time, but they stay because fear holds them back. I won't spoil the rest of the story. You'll have to watch the videos to find out what happens. Actually, when we first started this project, we didn't intend to retell the story at all. Chuck Black's daughter, Emily, had written music for his books. One piece was printed in the back of each book. The one in Sir Dalton was called The Shadow Heart and was far and away our favorite. We thought it would be cool to make a music video out of it, piano guy style. Last October, I contacted Chuck Black and asked permission to make the video. Then I saw the music videos for music inspired by the story and was inspired by them to actually act out parts of the book in between instrument shots. We brainstormed throughout the winter, bought fabric, started making the girls' dresses, found some actors, and ran out of time over Christmas break. Skip over to May, when we found the rest of our actors, started scheduling, bought swords, drew storyboards, and searched for locations. While my sisters and I finished the medieval dresses, Rachel made the guys' costumes and armor, branching out into the field of leatherworking and learning how to make faux chainmail. Somewhere in the middle of all that, Chuck Black announced that he would be having a video contest for videos based on scenes from his Knights of Arrethtrae series. So we figured, hey, we're already making a music video based on the Sir Dalton book, why not do another one that's focused on just one chapter? That way we could share some of the footage and use the same actors, locations, and costumes. So Rachel took that idea and ran with it. Her video was called Draw Your Sword and had spoken lines. I kept working on the music video for The Shadow Heart, which had no spoken lines. With these videos, we really wanted to move beyond kids playing around with the camera and produce our videos as professionally as we could with our limited resources. We had some idea of what to do and what not to do, but there was a whole lot that we learned along the way. Plus, we started experimenting with green screen, artificial lighting, and frame-by-frame special effects. There were many times when I looked at Rachel and said, "Wait, how are you doing this exactly?" And she'd say, "I don't know." But somehow she managed to pull it off. Actually, God pulled it off. There was a while back in June where we were praying for 3 things. 3 horses belonging to people we knew that were all stabled at the same place. A big cave that was no further away than Birmingham and wasn't commercialized. And a bunch of egg crate foam mattress pads. It sounded crazy, but we prayed. Through a series of God coincidences, the Poe family offered to let us use their 2 horses, and also helped us handle Vicki Morrison's horse, Bert, when she was unable to come to the filming day. As far as the cave goes, Mr. Jordan messaged us about a cave just north of Birmingham that his family had found while geocaching. No one seemed to own it, there were no tours through it, and it was plenty big enough for what we needed. That left the mattress pads. We wanted to use them to make a sound booth to record the audio for the music video, but mattress pads are not cheap. Then one day we were driving home and saw an egg crate foam mattress pad on the side of the road. We pulled over and stuffed it in the trunk and started praying for more. By the time we constructed the sound booth, we had 4 full-sized mattress pads and a queen-size pad. Praise God! In all honesty, none of this could have happened without him. There were too many things that could have been disasters that weren't. Too many times when we needed something or someone, and he brought us exactly what we needed at exactly the right time. One day my wonderful mom took all of us to Red Mountain Park south of Birmingham looking for caves. The park was beautiful, but it had no caves that were accessible and open to the public. On our way out, we spotted an old stone building that was mostly overgrown. Those of us who'd read the book started yelling, "Nedahaven! It's Nedahaven!" In the world of Arrethtrae, Nedahaven is the allegorical representation of the Garden of Eden. In the book, Sir Dalton actually gets to see Nedahaven with his own eyes. We hadn't planned on showing that part in the videos, even though it was a pretty significant event in the book. But now we had an old stone ruin that we weren't even looking for. Isn't God good? Thank you all for your support and excitement, but the glory goes to God. We hope you enjoy watching the videos that he put together. Oh yeah, and here are the answers to a few frequently asked questions. Number 1. What's the deal with the belt buckles? A character called Mr. Segis describes himself to Dalton as a collector. He takes old things and makes them new. He uses 2 belt buckles as examples. Number 2. What's the deal with the birds at the end? Lord Drox, the shadow warrior who captures Sir Dalton, has a bunch of death ravens that go wherever he goes. They show up throughout the book and represent Dalton's doubt and fear. Number 3. Why are the 2 guys fighting each other? If you've seen our production videos, you know there's a big duel at one point. But we can't tell you why just yet. In fact, the whole purpose of the Draw Your Sword video is to explain why they're fighting. So keep watching, and you'll find out. Again, thank you so much for coming tonight. To God be the glory.